Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Tina Kovrgich and I am Northern Stamper, and I want to thank you very much for joining November Stampastack. We are going to make 10 cards. In your package you will notice that there are two. There are two packages. There are two designs of 5 cards each. And now I tried to list out what the items are in each package, and you'll notice that. So if we look at card number 1 items, it will list all the card bases and all the pieces that are inside, so that you can see that there. And card number 2 is also listed the same, so hopefully I packaged them all. I do apologize for last time. There was a miscounting of some items there, and I wanted to let you know I do apologize for that. And those that had missed the card bases, I sent them on with this package. You may notice them inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 designs, and I had a hard time choosing between Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper and Peaceful Place, the black and white and gray Designer Series paper. So I thought, okay, we'll make some from each of one. This way we can do it. And they turned out really fantastic. So you'll notice that there are some ribbons in a separate package, the black and white check ribbon, and kind of a red and a green one in another package, and that's for you to use for your cards. So one of the cards we're going to be making is this one, like this, and it is a little bit of a slight fancy fold, so it looks really nice when it's completed. And we're going to be doing some of these in the Peaceful Place and also the Heartwarming Hugs. And this is the design for the second one, very simple with the snowflake on top. And the ink colors that you're going to be using, hopefully you have Real Red, Memento Black, or any other black ink that you have, and Evening Evergreen as an option if you wanted to do that on some of your cards. So hopefully you have those set aside, and that's what you're going to need. So let's get started creating these great cards using the different Designer Series papers. Okay? All right, let's get going. Let's start with card number 1. Oh, it says card base, 2 black and 2 red. It should be, let's take a look, there should be a total of 5 altogether. So let's pull these out. Oh, there's lots of little bits in here. And let us double check to make sure that we have everything. Okay. So let's get started creating with our card bases. So I'm going to be doing 2 at a time, and I will be doing 1 of each at the same time so that you can follow along. Okay, so I have my regular card base. It is just the one-sided, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some Designer Series paper. It depends on which side you want to use on how for the card. So what I'm going to use is the Heartwarming Hugs. I'm going to use a little bit more of a muted color on the red, and for the black one I'm going to choose something of a little lighter color. There we go. Now you'll notice on both sides, it's up to you which way you want to choose. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these 2, and I'm going to just glue these 2 down. Okay, so let's get the adhesive on the back of the Designer Series paper, which is cut to 4 by 5 1/4 on each of these. So I'm going to glue them down. Okay, and so that they fit right in the center there. Okay, so we have them in the center, and what we're going to bring in next is we are going to bring in, there is some white, basic white, and you'll notice it is scored already for you at 4 inches. So I'm going to fold one of these, and you'll notice it should fit right on top of the Designer Series paper is there. That is there. So I'm going to do that for both of these. Okay, and I see that they fit. Okay. And what I can do is, if I want, I can glue these down already, or I can do it all later. But because there's no ribbon going around these pieces, I can glue them down. And I'm going to just make sure that they are in the middle, nice and even on both sides. Okay, Just glue that down so I don't lose them. Okay. I think my favorite one is the black and white. The Peaceful Place turns out really nice. Though the Heartwarming Hugs is really, really stunning too. Okay. So I have that for each of those already laid down. Now, this is where some of the ribbon is going to be coming into play. For this part, I'm going to lay down a piece of black cardstock on one of them, and I do have a piece of red on the other, actually. The piece is actually by itself. I thought it stood out really nicely by itself, so I didn't want to overtake on that the Heartwarming Hugs. Okay, so what I'm going to do there is actually on this one, I'm going to look at the little pieces that I have. They are cut 3 by 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So what I'm going to do is just lay that down on top. Okay, so, and let's glue the Designer Series paper square on top. Okay. And for the one with the Heartwarming Hugs, I'm actually, before I lay it down, I'm going to be adding my ribbon around onto those ones. Okay. Now, you'll notice that you have a green and a red, and I thought it's really cute using the two colors together. Okay, so I'm just going to take them both. And I might just wrap it around a little bit here and tape it on the back side. Okay. I'm just going to bring them over across together just like that. And tape them on the back. Okay. That's so cute. And then I'm just going to adhere that down onto the card base, the card piece there. Okay. There we go. And same like this one, but before I do that, I'm going to add some ribbon around on this one with the black and white checkered ribbon. Lay it across. Tape it down. Now, if you want, you can do a regular type of bow or that little shoelace kind. So I think for this one, I'm just going to try the shoelace one, and as I work on the other ones, I'll do different bows on that. So let's pop on little shoelace guy here, and I'm going to actually move that around in a little bit. So one the good thing about the shoelace, you can always slide it back and forth to see where you want to place it. For this one over here, I'm going to take my two ribbons and I am going to create a bow at the same time with two of them together. Okay. Might be a little bit trickier because they're both, you know, they are kind of a little bit slidey, but let's give it a try. Okay. There we go. Oh, did we do it? There we go. And maybe for the next ones, I'll just do a different type of bow and add that on. Okay. Make sure you trim the ends. And I'm going to get a little glue dot. Sorry about the noise. Let's get a little glue dot and place it on. Okay. Right in the middle there. There. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and so that is the cards. Let's make our little sentiments that go on it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use maybe, let's try some black or some red. So you have some little ovals from the double oval punch, and I'm going to stamp some sentiments on that. I'm going to be using the sentiment from the Peaceful Deer because I know that that fits really nicely in that little oval, and it says sending love and peace this season. So let's place that on there. Okay, I'm going to put these off to the side. I don't want to get any ink on them. So I'm going to be doing, since we're doing all of them, I'm going to do 3 with the black. So I'm going to do them all at the same time. Okay, let them dry. And then I'm going to change actually, and for the ones with the Heartful Hugs designer series paper, I'm going to change, and maybe I'll do them, I'll do one in red and I'll do one in green to show you the difference. So I've got to clean that in between stamping, because I don't want to transfer any of the ink colors onto the ink pads. So I'm going to start with the red one. And I'm going to see which one sits better on that color. Okay, and do one in Evening Evergreen. Okay, so we have them all done. So I'm going to bring these back in, the cards that I'm working on the black one. And you'll notice that they're from the double oval punch. You have 3 that are cherry cobbler. Those goes with the black and white. And those with the real red will go with the heartwarming hugs. Okay, so we're going to glue those together. So let's place these on. It's easier to do it all at once. Okay. This way we don't, it's like a little assembly line that we got going on here. Much easier doing them all at the same time. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it on, and I'm going to have it so it sits a little bit off, or if you want, you know, doesn't matter where you place it, you can put it like right on top. Sometimes you can put it over, so I'll do a couple that are hanging over so you can see. Just be aware that when you glue it down, if it's going to be hanging over, only glue one side and then press it down so that when it's open, the glue doesn't transfer over. Okay, so there's one. And I'm going to get this one for the Heartful Hugs. Oh, that is so pretty. I think I like that hanging over a little bit. I'm going to do that again, put it on a little piece there. And I'm going to finish up the other cards with this. And you're going to notice that there's one piece that is 6 by 6, because I didn't know which portion you wanted to use. Did you want to use the little trees or the large trees? I wanted to give you the option of choosing your own. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to the very end as the last card we're going to do. Okay, let's go on and again bring in our red card base, our black card base. Okay, we're going to place on the designer series paper. I'm going to just glue that down in the corners. All right. And mine are I just have a little pieces left over. Yours is a full sheet, so just add that down. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add that on there. Yours is actually a full sheet. I just had a couple of pieces I wanted to use up. And they are actually going to be hidden under the cardstock, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to get the white pieces next. I'm going to fold it. All right. And I can see it lays down, and I'm going to glue that down right in the center. Again, fold it down. And do that for the Heartful Hugs down in the center. Okay, there we go. I'm going to bring in the card base, the mat there, and the Heartful Hug has this one. So before I do that, I want to do my ribbon. So I'm going to take my little piece of Designer Series paper for the one with the black, add that, and then we're going to do the ribbon around that. Again, start on the back, just add a little piece and tape it down, wrap it around. There we go. And for this one, you could even add the black and white ribbon onto the Heartful Hugs Designer Series paper. And actually, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a try because I really love this ribbon. I think it looks really, really neat. Now, if you want, there should be enough red and green for you to do this, if you want. It's up to you. I think it looks great. You can't go wrong with what you're doing. And let's glue that down. Okay. There we go. Glue it down. And then we're going to make our little bows on top. Okay. And just going to slip that under. Very easy peasy. And there. Same like this one. I like this kind of bow. I like to slide them around. I think it works really well. Don't forget to angle cut your ends. It makes it look much nicer. Okay. And again, all we need to do is put on our sentiment. And I am going to put that on so it's hanging over again. I liked it. Oop, I can see a little bit of glue. I liked how it hangs over. But this one, I'm going to try and put a little differently. Maybe I'll put on the black and white, I'll put it just above the trees. There. And we got the two there. Okay. And the very last one, let's take a look at the very last one that we're going to do. So we have our card base, okay? And I am going to actually end up using, maybe I am going to end up using this portion of the paper. And what I need to do, there we go, there is the card base for that. I'm just actually going to glue this one down first. There we go. And where's our mat and our paper? Okay. So if I'm going to cut out these trees, I'm going to double check my measurements. So get your trimmer and we are going to double check the size of the mat. So the size of the mat is 3 3/4. I'm just going to write this down. So it's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so if I put it in here, it should be exactly the same if I turn it around. Okay, so that means that's the mat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that down a little bit, and it's going to be 3.5 by 3.5. And that's what I need to cut this square. So I didn't know what portion you want to use. So if I did 3.5 by 3.5, I can see I'm going to be cutting off some of these trees. I can move it up a little bit, or do I want to use these trees over here? And a little bit like this. So I'm going to actually do that. I can use this for something else, maybe the inside of the card. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit off the top, just clearing that large tree. And then I'm going to turn it, and it's going to be 3.5. So where's the 3.5? Double check my measurements, 3.5, and turn it by 3.5. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So that's 3.5 by 3.5. So when I take the white and the black and I layer them on, it will fit nice and perfect all the way through. So I'm going to glue this down, place it in the middle. Okay, got that in the middle. I'm going to place my designer series paper on the black mat. And then I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. I'm going to bring it a little bit further down. I want to show off those trees. Okay. And I'm going to add the adhesive, place it down. Make my little bow. And actually, that white space above the trees is perfect for where I can place my sentiment. And that's exactly where I'm going to put my sentiment. Right there. Okay. So there are the 5 cards from that first set. So there are 3 blacks and 2 with the heartwarming hugs. I thought the peaceful place looked really great on this. Now the next cards we're going to do, it's going to be opposite. We'll have 2 with the black and whites and 3 with the heartfelt hugs. Okay. Let's move on to card number 2. In this package, we will be creating 5 more cards. Let's pull them out. Okay. And the design we're going to be doing is with the cute little snowflakes. Okay. Now there are some different color cardstocks for the card base. There is a Merry Merlot. There's a real red, so there's 2 real reds. There is a gray, a smoky slate, and an evening evergreen. Okay, so what we're going to do is first we are going to score all of the card bases. And just to get started. So let's pull those out. Put everything else aside. And we are going to take our trimmer and score those card bases at 4 1/4. Okay, make sure you're scoring and not using the trimmer to cut. Okay, we're just going to score them all at 4 1/4. Go through them all at the same time. It just makes it easier as I package these up for you, and they fit nicely into the mailing packages. All right, so we have those card bases all scored. Okay, and we're going to put those aside. All right, so we have them scored in the middle. Now, there are some pieces of designer series paper. So we got some, let's pull them apart, and there are matching cardstock matte colors. So let's bring those designer series papers out. And it's up to you on which way or which colors you want to match them with. Okay? And so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5. Okay? And you may notice that there are a couple of one extra piece of cardstock. I didn't know which one you wanted to use, so there might be one extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up the colors that I want with each one. So I'm going to, actually I like the white with the houses with the Merry Merlot, which is a dark like wine red. So I'm going to put those two together. I'm going to take my real red and I'm going to decide which one I want to go with that. Oh, I like that, those two together. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to do this one with a basic gray maybe, or maybe let's move it on to a white. Let's take a look. Oh, I like that with the white. Okay, going to move that on to the white. And we got 2 left and 3 pieces. All right, so do I want that on the dark green? That does look really nice. What if I flip it over? Nope. What if I do it on here? Oh, that really looks good. I like that. And what do I have left? I could do that on the red, or you can keep this off to the side and match it up with a blue. I really like these colors together like this. So what I'm going to do is I have them all designed and matched up. I do have one left, so maybe I'll hold on to it and see what I can do with it later. I'm going to actually just, you'll see that the designer series paper goes all the way across. And there is on the top and the bottom a little bit of room. So let's just start gluing those all down and matching them up. There we go. Just keep going across. Very quick to do when we're doing them all at the same time. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to figure out which one you want to match it up with, so they all have such pretty sides, all such pretty colors. Okay, gonna move that up there. And one more. And I love these little houses. I think they're so cute. My favorite from the papers. All right, so I got those ones all done on that. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in my card bases, and I'm going to start with one at a time. And in your package you will notice that there are some Whisper White, and they are cut 4 to 5 1/4, and those are going to go on the card front. Okay, so I just need to glue that down, place it on. And what I'm going to do, as I'm gluing across, I'm going to look for the matching piece and place it on just in the top quarter portion. Okay? Actually, before I do that, I want to place some ribbon around. So let's just leave those off to the side, and let's continue doing the card bases. Sometimes I forget that the ribbon has to wrap around items, and then I usually I get so excited and I glue it all down, and then I realize, oh, it has to be wrapped around. So let's go back and finish up with the card fronts. Okay, we're going to do that all at the same time. Here's that Mary Merlot that's like a dark red wine color. Very pretty. And one of my favorite, Evening Evergreen. I love the dark green for Christmas. Okay, so we have those all down. All right. I am actually going to put these aside and I'm going to wrap my ribbons around. Okay. I'm going to match the black ribbon onto the ones with the Peaceful Place. And I'm going to place that on the left side. Okay. Like I said, you can always do that with the heartwarming hugs. It's up to you. Wrap it around. And I'm just going to keep doing the same thing over and over, and I will do the bows all together at the end. So that's those two. I'm going to bring in the other ribbons. Like I said, you can do them both at the same time or one at a time. One on each. So I'm going to wrap this one as a single. There we go. Very easy and quick to do. Again with the red. And this one, I don't know if I want this one or that. Let's see. Oh, that kind of, you know what, maybe I'll do them both. I'm going to do both of them on this one. You know what, you can also go across if you want. That's an option. It's up to you. Or maybe that's what we'll do for this one. We'll go across just for something different. Okay, I'm going to go across here. And I have an idea. Oh, that looks pretty cool. And tape it down. Now I'm going to go back. And I'm just going to make a little, oops, little knot in this. Let's see how that turns out. There. That for that one. Make a little bow on this one. There we go. And I'll pop that on with a little, where'd they go? Oh, there they go. A little adhesive dot. Okay. Place it up there. And another bow. There we go. Adhesive dot. I'm not going to put the adhesive dot too tightly on. I want to put it kind of on the ribbon a little bit because I'm going to be slipping under those snowflakes. And just one more. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is actually now, because I have the ribbons on, I can now glue them onto the card base. Or if you want to stamp your sentiment first and then glue, that's fine. But what I want to do is I'm going to glue this down first because I am using this piece to figure out where I want to stamp. So I'm just going to keep going across, and that is a Mary Merlot color Go like this. And this is going to be my guide on where I'm going to stamp. Okay. So I line it up with the edge of the mat here. Not the edge of the card, but the edge of the white mat. Oh. Okay, let's add a little bit of glue. That one didn't seem to like this piece of paper. So place that down. There must be another piece under here somewhere. Oh yes, I thought I was missing it. It was just hiding. Oh my goodness. Use a little bit of liquid glue then. Okay. And the gray. What is it with the left side here? There we go. Okay, and now what we can do is we can stamp our sentiment. Okay, so you have the choice, so you can do the red with the green on the sentiment. There, and this is black on black with the Black Designer Series paper, or you can do red to have it pop out. So what I'm going to do is I want a longer sentiment on here that says Merry Christmas. So I'm going to look for that. And I'm going to be using it from Christmas to Remember. So they've got Season's Greetings and Merry Christmas. And I'm going to use Merry Christmas. I like that. Now, if I wanted this to pop out in the red, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to do this one in red. So I'm going to ink it up. And before I do anything else on the card, I'm just going to test it on the paper. And we're going to check it. And there we go. It looks really striking on the red. It really makes it pop. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I think maybe I will do that on the green one. There we go. And I'm just going to change color, and I'm going to go with the darker Evening Evergreen on the red card basis. Okay. Let's give it a try. Looks like I need to pat and turn a little bit more. There we go. It looks really good. And again on the red card base. And the last one I have left, because it is in Merry Merlot, I'm actually going to use that one in a black sentiment. Test it on my paper. Oh, need to have a little bit more inking. And there. That looks fantastic. All we have left is just to add the little snowflakes to it. And in your package, you'll have the iridescent little snowflakes. You just pop them out. Carefully pop them out. You don't want to rip the ends off. So, and put an adhesive dot right there in the center. On the non-shiny side. So you'll notice there's iridescent on one side. And I'm just going to tuck in the snowflake a little bit under the ribbon. I'm going to do that for each one. Pop out the snowflake. Add a dot. And I'm just going to slip it under the ribbon. Okay, there we go. And just keep going. There. I like the little snowflakes. I think they add just a little bit to it. Looks kind of cute, don't you think? I like it. Make sure you can put the dot on the correct side, not the shiny side. You want to have that nice shiny side out here. We'll tuck that in a little further. There we go. And one more. There we go. Double check. Oh, look at that. It makes me want to start singing Christmas songs. There we go. And those are all of the cards that we're going to make. Don't forget to decorate your envelope. I'm going to fold these all up now. Decorate your envelope. And you're ready for mailing. Awesome. I think that looks fantastic. Or, you know what, if you have some little embellishments, just add a little bit on. They'll look fantastic. And now we have 10 cards all ready for mailing. Thank you for joining me, and have a Merry Christmas.